They're off and racing towards the centre. Diamond Lane shows some pace, but hunting up Redondo Beach will hold it out. Redondo Beach at the judge with 2 to go. 2 metres in front. Diamond Lane second. Astrolabe settles third behind the leader. Gypsy Pronto in the 1x1 in the running line. Then came back along the inside as they head to the back. The first time was Charlie Khan. Masai Mara over in the running line, followed by Miss TJ Baker. In behind them, Silent By. Second to last is Cosmic Heaps. And bringing up the rear of the field is Aussie Explorer. Down the back straight they go at the lap and a half mark. Redondo Beach 3 metres in front. In second placing behind the leader came Astrolabe. Sitting up outside without cover is Diamond Lane. In behind them then Gypsy Pronto the outside. Back along the inside, Charlie Khan. Next pair back then, Masai Mara over on the outside. Then in behind them came Miss TJ Baker, the pegs, followed by Silent By. Second to last on the inside, Aussie Explorer. And last of all over on the outside is Cosmic Heaps. Down to the judge, they'll face the bell this time. Redondo Beach a metre in front. Diamond Lane getting a little closer on the outside. Third behind the leader, Astrolabe. Gypsy Pronto in the 1x1. In behind them, Charlie Khan. Masai Mara the running line, followed by in behind them Silent By. Back along the inside there as they head to the back on the last occasion was Miss TJ Baker with Aussie Explorer, and hooking out 3 wide from the rear came Cosmic Heaps. Into the back, short of a lap to go now. And Redondo Beach, the pilot, 3 metres in front. Diamond Lane trying hard on the outside second. Astrolabe looking for the way clear. Gypsy Pronto in the 1x1 about to come out. In behind them then back along the pegs came Charlie Khan as they start to bunch. Then came further back whipping around them quickly was Silent By. In behind them then came Cosmic Heaps. Back at the head of the rest, Miss TJ Baker. They swing the home turn and leading up for home Redondo Beach straightens 3 metres in front. Astrolabe the run coming now, followed by Diamond Lane, and wider out Silent By. Redondo Beach just in front. Astrolabe could be the danger, and right down the outside Silent By. It's in front. Redondo Beach near the line, pulling out plenty from Astrolabe, and Redondo Beach gets home the first. 2 metres. Second placing maybe Astrolabe. Getting up along the inside late was Charlie Khan. In behind them Gypsy Pronto, Silent By, Aussie Explorer, Miss TJ Baker. Then came Diamond Lane. Further back then was Masai Mara and Cosmic Heaps last of all. Stand by for the placings on the first. Find Redondo Beach, first out, first home. Get the verdict here. Numbers about to go into the frame. Cabravale Diggers, Function Centre, Battler's Pace, the first here at Fairfield. And the numbers about to go up after race number 1. Green light comes up. They're off and racing towards the centre. Ernie Rama showing some pace. Merrywood Prince hunting up on its inside early. And that pair battle it to the first turn with Merrywood Prince taking over a metre. Ernie Rama second, followed by getting up along the inside Lockley Teddy. One off the fence then was Historic around that first turn. Trapped out a little wide as they head to the back on the first occasion was King Bailey making ground. In behind them then came getting up along the inside Reese Bromack, followed by over on the outside was Broker. Satara back second last, and last of all is Star of River Lee. Along the back they go, midway between the far turns, a lap and a half out. Merrywood Prince the clear leader now. King Bailey has worked up to second on the outside of Lockley Teddy. Next pair back are Ernie Rama the outside of Reese Bromack. Then came further back as they work off the back as one takes off 3 wide now, and that's Ernie Rama working into it. Getting up on its back as they swing into the straight then came Historic. They're followed by in behind them Lockley Teddy back along the inside with Reese Bromack. One off the fence then was King Bailey, shuffled back in the running line. Further back then over on the outside was Broker, Satara, and last of all Star of Riverlea. They hear the bell. Merrywood Prince the pilot a metre in front. Moving a little closer now, Historic on the outside second. Lockley Teddy locked up behind the leader. They're followed by in the 1x1 Ernie Rama as they head to the back on the last occasion. Reese Bromack 3 back the pegs. King Bailey it's outside from Satara. Then came Broker about to go forward 3 wide, and tracking it up is Star of Riverlea. Into the back straight on the last occasion. Merrywood Prince, a narrow leader. From on the outside, Historic second. Looking for the way clear, then came Lockley Teddy. Then came Ernie Rama. Further back, Reese Bromack locked away along the pegs. Back in the centre, King Bailey. And further back then, making some ground 3 wide, was Broker, Satara, and Star of Rivoli still last of all. They swing the home turn. Merrywood Prince straightens up, a narrow leader. Historic could be the danger on the outside. Then came behind the leader Lockley Teddy, and wider out in the straight Ernie Rama. Merrywood Prince collared in the centre now by Historic, and down the outside Ernie Rama. It's in the centre. Historic might be just in front, near the line it is, and Historic gets home. Merrywood Prince came again for second. Third Ernie Rama. Line of them there for fourth, King Bailey. Nearer the inside, Lockley Teddy from Reese Bromack. In behind them then came Broker, Star of Rivoli, and Satara, one of the last ones in. Weight our placings, race number 2. Should find here Historic for Blake Fitzpatrick. Found plenty. Worked around them 3 wide, sat up then outside the leader the last lap and a half or so, up and a quarter, and has battled on well in the straight. It took the lead from Merrywood Prince, which had the inside, and Historic driven out to the line has got the money. Number 9 Historic for Blake Fitzpatrick over number 1 Merrywood Prince, Wayne Innes, and third to number 2 Ernie Rama for Greg Bennett. Officially fourth went to 3 King Bailey, driven by Vince Silvestro. So the placings are 9, 1, 2 and 3. 9, 1, 2 and 3 after race number 2 here at Fairfield. The starter says go, they're racing towards the centre. Victor Pastime, the favourite, showing some pace from Noshbar Bailey the inside, and Victor Pastime will head them off at the judge the first time. Noshbar Bailey second, Clyde one off the fence. Wider out, What a Drama around the first turn from Gina Caramia. Blank Canvas in on the rails from Saldivar. Nurtured, then came Perfect Tie, and back to the rear is Jabaroo Dancer. Sorting themselves out into the back on the first occasion, Victor Pastime, a clear leader, 5 metres in front. Working around them 3 wide, What a Drama. Clyde back in the centre from Noshbar Bailey, the pegs. The next pair are Gina Caramia, the outside of Blank Canvas. 3 metres away then Saldivar in the running line from Perfect Tie. Nurtured getting up along the inside, and Jabaroo Dancer is last of all. They swing off the back at the lap and a quarter mark. The leader is Victor Pastime, a metre or so in front. What a Drama gets a little close now on the outside, cutting the breeze. Clyde tracking it up in turn. Then came Noshbar Bailey, the pegs. Next pair back as they work down the straight and hear the bell. Gina Caramia, the outside of Blank Canvas. Then came Saldivar in the running line. Further back then came Nurtured. Perfect Tie second last, Jabaroo Dancer last of all. They hear the bell, short of a lap to go as they swing out at the straight at the 750 metre mark. Victor Pastime a metre in front of What a Drama, the outside second. Noshbar Bailey behind the leader third. Then came Clyde, the outside of Blank Canvas. Over on the outside, Gina Caramia. Saldivar about to go forward 3 wide. In behind them, Nurtured, followed by Perfect Tie, and Jabaroo Dancer last of all. They start to bunch as they head to the 400 metre mark, and under the whip, Victor Pastime gets 5 metres in front. What a Drama's gone. Gina Caramia running on well with Saldivar out wider still. In behind them, Noshbar Bailey, and further back then was Clyde as they're about to swing the home turn. Saldivar's galloped. Saldivar galloped. This leads now Gina Caramia clear of Victor Pastime. Then came Noshbar Bailey getting clear, but in the straight and under the whip it's Gina Caramia 5 metres in front. Blank Canvas with a late run down the outside. It's Gina Caramia hanging on though near the line. Gina Caramia gets home from Blank Canvas. Jabaroo Dancer flashed home for third. Victor Pastime in behind them. There followed by further back was Clyde Noshbar Bailey. Between runners Perfect Tie, Nurtured, and back towards the rear of the field was What a Drama. And after galloping with 350 to go, Saldivar along last in. Stand by for the placings, race number 3. Numbers about to go into the frame. After the third, number 9, Gina Caramia, is the winner. Wouldn't have wanted to be too much further. The others were making ground quickly. Blank Canvas and Jabaroo Dancer. It's been a good run. Settled back near the rear, has run on well for third. Official placings 987. Fourth goes to number 2, Victor Pastime, after the running of race number 3, the John Riley 3-year-old pace. Winner 9, Gina Karamia for Anthony Buka. What do you say, Buka or Buka? The third, number 9, Gina Karamia, a brown filly, 3 years by Top Notcher from Karamia Shannon. J. Buka, FC Brenner, GKR Andrew and S. Clark are the owners. Trained by Elizabeth Heath at Kemps Creek. Anthony Buka, the winning driver. Second placing going to 8, Blank Canvas by Piece of Art from Raquel Franco. Glenn McElhenney, the trainer at Rose Hill, and Glenn in the sulky. And third to number 7, Jabaroo Dancer by Stature from Bold Rama. Darren Hancock at Pheasant's Nest, the trainer and driver. So there we have the placings complete. 987, metre and a half by a half neck, 212.3, 24.2 was the rate. You see it, Wade. The green light's up and off and racing towards the centre. The Silk and Thomas showing some pace shortly after the start will lead on, settling down. They're followed by, in second placing, Lady of the Board, wider out Rupin Jack. Between runners, J.D. Miller from Steel Rama the inside. Next pair back are over on the inside, Editor's Choice, being covered up the outside there by, as they come off the back, Al Ricardo. They're followed by Torrid Tornado, Tusa running, and last of all in the early stages, Cooperative Bet. Good battle on up front for the lead, and out in the centre, Lady of the Board will take over at the judge with 2 to go. Racing up to the leader's wheel in second placing now came Rupin Jack. They're followed by, in behind them came the Silk and Thomas the Pegs. Tracked up in turn by Steel Rama. J.D. Miller one off the fence. In behind them, Editor's Choice, followed by in the running line, Al Ricardo. Then came Tusa running. Back to second last now came Torrid Tornado. And last of all, as they head to the back, was Cooperative Bet. Into the back straight at the lap and a half mark, and Lady of the Board the leader, clear leader, 5 metres in front of the Silk and Thomas second. Then came over on the outside Rupin Jack, Steel Rama 3 back the pegs. In behind them then came J.D. Miller in the running line. The next one is Editor's Choice. Over on the outside Al Ricardo, followed by Tusa running. In behind them then Torrid Tornado back to second last, and last of all is Cooperative Bet. They'll swing into the straight to face the bell this time. They're at the 1,000 metre mark, and Lady of the Board straightens up. A narrow leader in front of, in second placing Rupin Jack, moving a bit closer to the outside now. The Silk and Thomas third behind the leader. 1 out and 1 back is J.D. Miller. Steel Rama locked up, 3 back the pegs. In behind them Al Ricardo, followed by Editor's Choice. In behind them then came Torrid Tornado in the running line. Second to last Tusa running, and last of all hooking out 3 wide now Cooperative Bet. Heading into the back straight at the 700 metre mark in the last circuit. The leader is Lady of the Board, a metre in front. In second placing, about to be asked for the effort, was Rupin Jack. Then came behind the leader looking for the way clear was the Silk and Thomas. And behind them then in the 1 by 1 sit was J.D. Miller. Starting the runs out wider, then came from the rear Cooperative Bet running on. Steel Rama looking for the way clear from Editor's Choice. Al Ricardo well back, Torrid Tornado and Tusa running. They swing off the back straight, and still the one to catch, Lady of the Board, still a couple of metres in front of Trying Hard Rupin Jack the outside. Then came running on behind them J.D. Miller, and further back Cooperative Bet. In the straight and in the centre, Rupin Jack has gone to the lead. Trying Hard J.D. Miller the outside. Rupin Jack, J.D. Miller going home a bit the better, and wide out flashing home Editor's Choice, but in the centre J.D. Miller's got there from Editor's Choice. Rupin Jack third, Lady of the Board in 4. Then came in behind them Torrid Tornado. Cooperative Bet wider out from Steel Rama. In behind them the Silk and Thomas, well back out of its ground, Tusa running, and Al Ricardo back towards the rear. Good drive up the straight. Rupin Jack, the first starter, had got to the lead. Quickly grabbed by J.D. Miller. It got to the lead, then coming at it late was Editor's Choice, but you'll find that J.D. Miller has hung on. It has. Number 2, J.D. Miller from 8, Editor's Choice, and third placing goes to number 5, Rupin Jack. 2.85, officially fourth for Lady of the Board after the running of race number 4. Returning now after the running of the 4th here at Fairfield. Winner number 2, J.D. Miller, bay gelding 4 years by Explorador from Mystery to Me. J.A. Defina is the owner. Trained by Paul Lasnik at St Mary's, driven by Danny Gallagher. Second placing goes to 8 Editor's Choice. As the all clear comes through, all clear. 8 Editor's Choice second by Caprock from Nurse Abbey, trained by Dean Atkinson at Maroolin. Gavin Fitzpatrick, the driver, and third to number 5, Reuben Jack. Reuben Jack, a first started by Riverley Jack from Young Mona. John Tapp at Ebenezer, the trainer. Greg Bennett, the driver. Officially fourth went to 4 Lady of the Board, Glenn McElhenney. Head by 2, 242.1. That's a mile rate of 23.4. These in English? No. 2 J.D. Miller on the tote, 12 even and 250. Number 8 Second Editor's Choice paid $2.60, and third to number 5 Reuben Jack $1.80. Quinella 98.30 is it? Quinella paid $58.30. Exact 147.50. Trifecta paid $509.10. And punters, we're just standing by for that first 4 on race number 4 to come up onto our display screens. Green light up, off and racing towards the centre. Bay Fella and Skimming Stone battle out the early lead. Skimming Stone leads. Bucalix coming across to second. They're followed by Bay Fella. Wider out on the track as they settle down into stride was Downtown Hanover, and wider still was Sarah Lass. Sorting themselves out as they're about to come into the straight. Just over 2 laps to go. Bucalix takes over in front. Skimming Stone is second. Sarah Lass moves around the outside to third, followed by Bay Fella the inside. The next pair back are Downtown Hanover. It's over on the outside of Magic Marlin. Then came Milwaukee Star. Further back in the field was Newcomb Jake, and back at the rear was Miss Bianca. Past the judge, 2 laps to go. Bucalix leads them out of the straight. Clear leader, 3 metres in front. Skimming Stone is second. Third, back along the pegs, Bay Fella. Sarah Lass, the first one off the pegs. In behind them then came Magic Marlin as they head to the back. Working around them 3 wide, the favourite Newcomb Jake. Back in the centre then came Downtown Hanover as they head along the back. In behind them then came over on the outside was Milwaukee Star. And last of all is Miss Bianca. On the back straight they go at the lap and a quarter mark, and Bucalix is the leader. Sarah Lass making some ground in the centre, moves up to second. That keeps out wider still there, the favourite Newcomb Jake. Back in behind the leader came Skimming Stone. One off the fence then as they work into the straight was Downtown Hanover. In behind them then making up some ground wider out was Milwaukee Star in the 3 wide running line now. Bay Fella shuffle back along the pegs. In behind them Miss Bianca, and now back to last of all Magic Marlin. Well bunched field as they come past us with a lap to go, and the leader is Bucalix, a narrow leader. Sarah Lass the centre, Newcomb Jake 3 wide. 3 wide as well as they work into the back straight was Milwaukee Star. Then came back in the centre Downtown Hanover. Skimming Stone back along the inside. It's tracked up in turn by Bay Fella. Then in behind them came Miss Bianca, and back to last of all Magic Marlin. Still well bunched as they go along the back. Bucalix the leader. Over on the outside, Newcomb Jake is second. Then came Skimming Stone third, followed by Bay Fella, skipping a little Sarah Lass. Then came around the outside, Milwaukee Star making some ground, running on Miss Bianca from the rear. Further back then under the whip came Downtown Hanover and Magic Marlin. They're about to swing off the back, and Bucalix kicks clear. It straightens up about 5 or 6 metres in front. Skimming Stone is second. They're followed by over on the outside, Milwaukee Star making some ground, and from a long way back was Miss Bianca. Bucalix in front near the line, trying hard. Miss Bianca out wide. Getting up along the inside, Skimming Stone, but Bucalix hangs on near the line. Bucalix scores. Second placing in the centre went to Bay Fella. Back along the inside, Skimming Stone, and wider out Milwaukee Star. Magic Marlin made some ground. Miss Bianca died on her run. In behind them then to pull up was Downtown Hanover, Newcomb Jake, and last in there would have been Sarah Lass, with the exception of one that went out of its gear, Spirit of Manwarra, and it's tailed off last of all. Bucalix has scored officially by 7 metres, a neck between second and third. Overall time was 2:41.9. That's a mile rate of 2:3.3. Winner for Bucalix, about to return after race number 5 here at Fairfield. 7 by a neck, 2:41.9, 2:3.3 on 4, 2, 5 and 3.
Thanks, and I was going to use
Code 820. He's let them go. They're off and racing this time. Serene Star's missed it. Leading on, settling down Harley Vance, but won't hold out. Coming across in the early stages, Rate of Knots. Rate of Knots takes over. Racing up to second, Tempura. In third, placing back along the inside, Harley Vance as they settle down. They're followed by over on the outside trap, the little white Exuberant Poplar in the early stages. Back between runners, Sandy Bowen from the Red Earth, Kublai Khan. Second to last, Wyvern, and after skipping at the start, Serene Star is last of all and will shortly tack on. Down to the judge with 2 laps to go. Rate of Knots the leader by 5 metres in front. Kublai Khan works around the outside to second now. In behind them came Exuberant Poplar in the running line. Back behind the leader, Harley Vance. In behind them then was the Red Earth, followed by Tempura on the outside. Wyvern the inside then of Sandy Bowen. And last of all, about to tack on was Serene Star. They head into the back straight at the lap and a half mark. Rate of Knots a metre in front. Kublai Khan is second in the running line. Third, Harley Vance, followed by over on the outside, Exuberant Poplar, 1 by 1. The Red Earth back along the inside from Tempura. The next pair back are Wyvern the inside of Sandy Bowen, and tacking on last of all now is Serene Star. They swing off the back straight once again. They'll face the bell when they head into the straight, and Rate of Knots is the leader. Kublai Khan about to match it on the outside in second placing. Harley Vance third behind the leader. In the 1 by 1 Exuberant Poplar. Next pair back Tempura over on the outside of the Red Earth. Then Sandy Bowen, Wyvern, and tacking on last of all is Serene Star. They hear the bell with a lap to go. Rate of Knots leads them out of the straight, a metre over. Kublai Khan second. Exuberant Popular on the outside is third. Then came back along the inside Harley Vance. Then the Red Earth looking for the way clear from Tempura. About to go from the rear now, Sandy Bowen set alive 3 wide. In behind them came Wyvern, and last of all is Serene Star. Along the back they go. Rate of Knots still a metre in front. Kublai Khan second at the 400. Then came in behind them Harley Vance about to get clear. Working around them now, Tempura running on well. Then came Sandy Bowen out wider from the Red Earth. The head of the rest then Exuberant Poplar. Then came further back running on was Serene Star from the rear. Into the straight though, and this is shot clear Rate of Knots. Rate of Knots 10-15 metres in front on the home turn. Tempura trying hard in second placing from Sandy Bowen and Kublai Khan, but Rate of Knots is clear. It's getting a little tired near the line. Rate of Knots finishing on strongly. Tempura, Rate of Knots, it'll hang on though. Rate of Knots scores 3 metres. Tempura second. Third placing went to Serene Star. In behind them then came Sandy Bowen. At the head of the rest, Wyvern nearer the inside, followed by the Red Earth, Kublai Khan. Back towards the rear of the field to pull up then in second last placing Harley Vance and Exuberant Poplar last of all. Stand by for our placings after race number 6. It was getting pretty tired. Rate of Knots dictated terms up front, but led from go to woe there. Rate of Knots after the running of race number 6. Margins 4 by 3, 230. Off they go on racing now, skipping for a few strides. You're an Angel at the start has gone back through the field. Didn't inconvenience anything else, and going to the lead another Cindy as they settle down. Trebler Dollar settles second. Young Mr James won off the pegs. Then came wider out as they settled down into stride was 3 Generations. The next one back then was Mega Cam. In behind them Video Kid the inside from Evil Rama. Rambro back further with 3 back there as well, 3 Generations, and now getting back into its gear, You're an Angel at the rear. Down past the judge with 2 laps to go. Another Cindy's taken over, the favourite in front. Second placing moving to the leader's wheel now as they go past the judge with 2 to go was 3 Generations. Enjoying the run of the race, third Trebler Dollar behind the leader. 1 out and 1 back as they head to the back straight was Young Mr James. Then in behind them came along the inside Video Kid, being covered up by Mega Cam. And behind them Driller 2, followed by the outside Evil Rama. You're an Angel now second last, and Rambro back at the rear. Along the back straight they go. A clear leader is another Cindy by the best part of 10 metres. Trebler Dollar is second. Cutting the breeze, 3 Generations the outside. In behind them Video Kid from Young Mr James. James, now whipping around them 3 wide, forward move by Rambro. Then the next pair back, Mega Cam, the outside of Driller 2 from Evil Rama, and now last of all is You're an Angel. They swing around into the straight, they'll face the bell this time. Another Cindy a metre in front, Rambro a metre away on the outside in second placing, Trebler Dollar is third behind the leader. This gives the sit now to 3 Generations, and behind them then Video Kid, the inside of Young Mr. James. The next pair back, Mega Cam, the outside of Driller 2, Evil Rama second last, and last of all is You're an Angel. They've heard the bell, they head to the back on the last occasion, and the leader another Cindy, the one to run down, 3 metres in front. Rambro is second the outside. Trebler Dollars enjoyed the run of the race third on the pegs. In behind them then came 3 Generations, the outside of Video Kid. The next one is Young Mr. James, Driller 2. Then came Mega Cam, further back in the field was Evil Rama, and last of all You're an Angel, and on the back they go. Another Cindy a metre in front. Rambro about to be asked for the effort. Then came Trebler Dollar about to get clear behind the leader. In behind them then came Video Kid. Further back 3 Generations. Further back Young Mr. James. Followed by at the head of the rest Mega Cam. They swing the home turn. Another Cindy a narrow leader from Rambro. Hooked out 3 wide. Here comes Trebler Dollar putting himself into it stylishly. Another Cindy grabbed out wide by Trebler Dollar. Trebler Dollar's race to the lead and race clear near the line. And Trebler Dollar for Greg Bennett races clear and scores by 6 metres on the line. Getting between runners, Mega Cam might have got second in front of Rambro and another Cindy the inside. Then came 3 Generations, Video Kid, wider out Evil Rama. In behind them, Young Mr. James, Driller 2, and tailed off last of all You're an Angel. Easy win to Trebler Dollar. Had the run of the race behind the leader, waited patiently, hooked out 3 wide as they swung the home turn, quickly grabbed another Cindy, and also Rambro and Trebler Dollar, a stylish winner for Greg Bennett in race number 7 on the program. Numbers 1, 9 and 2. 1 Trebler Dollar from 9 Mega Cam, which got up in the centre for second, and third went to 2 another Cindy. 1, 9 and 2, with fourth going to 5 Rambro. Trebler Dollar for Greg Bennett, trained by John Tappert Ebenezer. The winner of race number 7, the Cabra Vale Diggers TAB Punters Club Pace. Racing down on the inside, Cambert Try shows as much pace as anything else in the early stages and will lead on settling down. Admiral's Fella goes up to second, followed by 15 plus in behind the leader. Little wide north attack into that first turn. In behind them then came Gobstopper. Over on the outside is Southern Shine as they work into the straight on the first occasion. Next one is Rambunctious Boy, followed by Classic Pastime. Back second last now is LJ's Buccaneer, and last of all Ebony Falcon, sorting themselves out as they come into the straight the first time. Cambert Try the leader. North attack over on the outside is second, Cutting the Breeze. 15 plus the run of the race behind the leader. 1 out and 1 back Admiral's Fella. In behind them Gobstopper, followed by on the running line Rambunctious Boy. Getting up along the inside Ebony Falcon. Classic Pastime second to last, or third last in fact. Second to last is LJ's Buccaneer, and bringing up the rear is Southern Shine. Into the back straight they head. They're back to where they started from. They've completed a lap and Cambert Try is the leader. Moving a little